Well, welcome back. My name is Carol, and today we're going to have our next lesson in how to tune a cello. So as you recall from last time, we talked about how to use a tuner, and this is the kind of tuner that I have, but there are lots of other kinds. And we talked about tuning with the fine tuners down here. And so today what we're going to do is talk about what to do if we can't tune with the fine tuners. So for instance, if we pluck the A string, and you know the red dot moves back and forth when I'm talking, and that's just my voice, and don't worry about that, don't be confused by that, because we're not tuning my voice, we're just tuning the cello. So I'll stop talking when I'm plucking the string. But first we're going to pluck the A and see where it is. Okay, so we see that the red dot is on this side, where on the flat side, and that's what that little B is. That means it's the flat side. That means the pitch is too low. Now, sometimes if that's what's happening, you can use your fine tuner. But for instance, if the fine tuner is all the way in and you can't turn it clockwise to bring the pitch up, what you're going to do is this. You're going to turn it counterclockwise, which will make it even more out of tune. But then what you do is you're going to use your peg up here to tune it the rest of the way that it needs to be tuned. So when you're using the pegs, the important thing to remember is only to turn a little bit at a time. If you turn too much, you will break the string. So hold the cello firmly right here, and then you're going to pluck it so you can hear, and you're going to be watching. I'm going to move this up here so I can see it better. So you're going to be watching, and so you see that that pitch is, quite a bit down on the low side. So while you're firmly holding the cello here, you turn this peg, and as you turn it, you're pushing it away from you and pushing in. And you're really not trying to push it in further, but you're just trying to keep it from popping out as you push it away from you. So here we go, and we're going to give it get a nice strong hold on it, but turn very, very little. And we will listen to the pitch as we go. Now you hear how it went up? Yeah. So, and now if we look at the tuner, we see that it's on the sharp side, the tic-tac-toe side. That means the pitch is too high. But now at this point, we can use our fine tuner, turn it a couple turns, pluck it again, still on the high side. We're getting closer. You can see that the little dial is right up, straight, almost straight up and down. Not quite, but it'll get there really soon. There we go. All right. Now we'll go ahead and try the D. We see that the D is a little on the flat side, but in this case I think we can just use the tuner to start with. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now we're going to listen to the G. Now I can hear that that's really not the right note, and you will also as you gain experience in how it should sound. So it's going to be harder to use the tuner to figure out where this should be, because it's not even in the right note. If you look in this little corner, if we pluck the A, there's an A. And if we pluck the D, there's a D right there. And if we pluck the G, it's not even a G. It's just totally the wrong note. Now, if you have experience tuning instruments, you probably can figure out what to do. But if you don't have any experience when it's that far off, you may need help. And as we talked about before, you can get help from the music store where you bought or rented your instrument, or you might be able to get some help from a music teacher if you have an orchestra in your area. In one of the schools. If you are homeschooled or you're an adult, you can still probably find somebody at a school that has a music program that can help you. You may have a friend who's familiar with string instruments who can help you, or you can give me a message on my email, and it's celloforbeginners@gmail.com and put something in the message line, and we can get on Skype and I can show you and help you through tuning the cello. So those are some options if the cello is really badly out of tune and you need more than just what you can understand from the tuner. Later on, I will teach you ways that you can still figure that out, but at this stage, if it's too far out of tune, you probably will need some help. Also later on, we will tune with the bow. For right now, we're doing the pits, and that's sometimes why the little red dot bounces back and forth, because the sound that rings after you pluck the sound, those are harmonics, and they fluctuate. They just don't stay on a straight pitch. They kind of, either go low or go high. They don't bounce up and down, but they, either go one way or the other way. And it makes it a little hard for the tuner to always know exactly what the right pitch is. But we'll talk more about that too when we start playing with the bow, and we see how that's different. When we tune with the bow, it locks into the right pitch a little sooner. Okay, so we can see that that's really quite a bit too low, because it's not even the right note in the corner here. So there are several things you can do, and one is if you have a keyboard, you can play that G and hear where it should sound. Or if you have a guitar that's in tune, you can pluck the G string on the guitar. In my case, I'm going to pluck the G string on my cello, my other cello here. So there's where G should sound. It's not there. So this time we hold with our right hand at the neck of the cello, and we use our left hand to tune this peg. And again, just a tiny little turn. Don't turn very much, because it's so easy to break the string if you do. So there's where G should be. It's not quite there. A little more turning, just carefully. Just a little bit. It's just a little bit more. You can hear it. You can hear it when it starts to get there. And when you get pretty close, then you go back to your tuner. And so we'll see what it says now. Very close. Yeah, I think that's actually good enough. But if it wasn't, you're close enough now, you could use your fine tuner to finish it off. And let's check our C now. And our C, it's pretty close. Now sometimes the notes are high rather than low. More often they're going to be low, just because of the pulling on the strings. Sometimes if it's like going to be rainy and your humidity is higher than normal, that's when you'll find that your strings are too high, and you may have to tune them all down just a little bit with your fine tuners. So clockwise to make the pitch go up, counterclockwise to make it go down. Okay, so I think that kind of covers what we need to do if we have to use the pegs. Just remember that you are going to have a nice firm grasp of the cello. You're going to tune these pegs by tuning just a little bit, because boy, if you overdo it, you don't want a broken string, but that's what will happen. So I think that will do it for today. We will learn more about tuning at a later lesson after we've learned to use the bow, because there are several other things that can help you get your cello in tune. But what we've learned so far with using our fine tuner, if the cello's not too much out of tune, or what we can do to start using the pegs if we need to do more adjustment, you're getting a start there on that. But feel free to get a hold of me if you want some help on Skype. Alright, I think that's it for today, and I'll look forward to seeing you next lesson, and we'll finish up the songs that we've started on and learn some new songs. Alright, thank you, and I'll see you again. Bye.